Welcome to episode 114 of the Women's Business Workshop podcast. This is part of a 3-episode series on business visibility. Part 1, in episode 113, we talked about standing out with your thought leadership. Today, we're going to talk about how to prioritize your visibility opportunities. And next episode, we'll talk about visibility with your content. We have a visibility challenge checklist that I would love for you to check out. There's steps and ideas for being more intentional with visibility for your business. You can subscribe to our podcast club email list in order to grab that download. Go to womensbusinessworkshop.com/WBW podcast, or just click the link in the show notes. If we haven't met yet, I'm Robin Walker. I help small business owners and entrepreneurs like yourself find your business path to create a business plan structure that highlights your strengths, is less stressful but more profitable, and helps you have time off to do the things that are important to you. If you're looking for more business structure and a place to learn and grow with other women business owners, I invite you to check out our group, the Impact Business Circle. You don't have to build your business alone or ask your spouse or mom for ideas. Learn from the best local business owners, plus get one-on-one strategy sessions with me to create a better growth plan. We have space available, and it's a great time to start for the new quarter. Go to womensbusinessworkshop.com/impact to get started. I'll also add that in the show notes for you. So for this episode, we're going to be talking about visibility again. For entrepreneurs, it feels like there is constant pressure to show up, whether that's networking events, social media, engaging online, sponsorships, coffee chats, all the things. And this is in addition to running the day-to-day of our businesses. It's hard to know what to say yes to, what to decline. It's a lot. And it feels like everyone is asking, and there's always a new event popping up. In this episode, I'll help you understand the cost of visibility, the time, energy, money, and how to determine where you should focus on being seen. Let's start off with the main point of the episode. You don't need to be everywhere. I'm never going to tell you that you need to be on every single platform. Big media will tell you that. Anyone profiting off your presence on a particular platform or at a particular event will pressure you to believe that this is the missing link in your strategic plan. But every visibility opportunity is not going to be for you. You need to be selective. You are the CEO, you are the business owner, you have a lot on your plate. But somewhere along the line, we have gotten the idea that we need Instagram, we need Facebook, LinkedIn, we need email marketing and SEO. Don't forget about all those networking events. Maybe I should have a podcast. You should really be on YouTube. Definitely Reels. Don't forget the stories. And now there's Threads and whatever is being launched yesterday. Like, remember Telegram? I was so proud that I had my actual name on Telegram. Well, that fizzled out in about a month. So at some point, this visibility, we're always trying to get visibility in quotes, turned into like a part-time job in addition to what we're already doing in our businesses. And most of us never applied for this job. We came to give our service to our clients, support our communities, and all this extra stuff is not really what we signed up for, and it feels like it's never ending. But having this push for visibility without any kind of prioritizing it or strategy, that's what leads to the exhaustion, because you're constantly trying to be everywhere all the time. Some of you are doing all of this on your own. It's a lot, and you are one person. When you try to be visible everywhere, you're diluting your impact because you're not going to be able to keep up. Exhaustion as a business owner, we've talked about this before, it can lead to bad decisions. And in the visibility frame, it often leads to saying yes to things like that gala sponsorship because you felt bad saying no, but deep down, you know it's not really going to give you any ROI except for you get to avoid feeling bad in the moment. But you're going to feel bad afterwards when you can't get that money back and you want to pay for kids for your out-of-state soccer tournament or something. Either way, there's going to be moments of discomfort, whether it's saying no to a misaligned opportunity or afterwards when you feel bad that you did say yes. I know you guys probably get sick of hearing me talk about strategy, but having a strategy for visibility and the structured boundaries that come with that plan make these decisions so much easier. So when someone contacts you to ask you, you have a filter you're running this through. It's not just an on the whim yes or no. And by the way, you can tell people, I need to think about it, or I need to check my budget, or I need to check what donations we've already given this year. You don't have to give them an answer in the moment, just like as a little side note. If you don't have structure to what you say yes to, is there any kind of guide you're using to reference or filter out the less than ideal opportunities? That's something that you can build into your business. I'm going to stop though for one first things first kind of thing. Most business owners want this visibility so they can attract new or returning clients. So, including brand recognition, all the things. So if you're thinking about visibility, stop and ask, like, what do you want visibility for? I hear that all the time. Oh, I want visibility. For what? To what end? For what outcome? There's all kinds of different visibility that you're getting. You might be doing visibility to get new clients. It might be visibility to get connections for referrals. It might be visibility because you're looking to hire. So you want good, solid branding so that whoever is looking, a higher caliber candidate is going to, trust your business, all kinds of things. I could go on and on. So visibility is not just one thing. It's all kinds of things. So you have to figure out, what even am I looking for? So let's say your visibility is so that you can attract new or returning clients. Wonderful. Do you currently have the capacity for more clients that you could serve with excellence if they all signed up next week? Many of you that come for support from me, you're either close to max or maxed out on new clients. And that's not the issue that needs addressing. It's your systems, your boundaries, your pricing. We don't want to focus on more when the focus should be on better. So I want you to make sure you have capacity and what level of capacity before you focus on the visibility. There's no point in focusing on getting new people in if you're not going to be able to serve them well, or you've slapped together your onboarding process. And so they may not even get a great experience and you may lose that great lead that you're actually not ready for. Okay, so I just wanted to get that out there, that if you are trying to get visibility, that you're ready for it. This leads me to my first point. There is a cost to the time, energy, everything of getting more visibility. I usually suggest that a business owner has one main business building focus at a time. And if you're focusing the bulk of your time outside of servicing clients on social media, events, getting visibility, you're not spending that extra time optimizing your business. And for certain stages of business, that may be okay, but for others, that's splitting your focus, and that's not going to help you grow in a healthy way. The biggest thing I hear from business owners is just they are overworked, there's not enough time, they're tired. So if you only have a limited amount of time and energy that you can focus on something outside of servicing your clients, we really want that to be the quote unquote right thing to be working on, and not just haphazardly working on whatever you can or you feel like that day. Visibility comes at a cost: your time, your money, and your energy. Let's start with time. Okay, let's talk about that. That's the thing that most business owners say, there's just never enough of. And I get it. There's all the memes, all the jokes about trading in your 40-hour-a-week job to work 24/7. I get it. Last year, Vertical Response conducted a survey of small businesses and social media and found that 43% of small businesses spent about 6 hours per week on social media. That's almost the equivalent of a full workday. So when you think about your week, if you are spending one day on visibility, and that was just the social media component. Now, I will say, I follow many of you, and I know you're not spending that much time posting. Just kidding. Not really. And social media doesn't have to be a huge part of your plan. And that's the irony of it, is how much time some of you are spending on social media, even if it's just thinking about it, feeling bad about it, wondering what to put on it, all of that time and energy. And social media may not even be something that converts for you or that needs that much attention. Think of like a networking mixer or a women's luncheon. All the time in getting ready, especially if you work from home, you're probably not, you're in your, sweats with the blouse on top for Zoom. You can't wear that out in public. So you've got to get time getting ready. You're driving. And for some of you, if you're an introvert especially, there's some recovery time after an event. Maybe on the way home, you stop at TJ Maxx or you're running an errand. And then before you know it, half of your day has been gone. You get home and now you have to reshift your brain into that work mode again. They come at a cost. It could be preparing for a speaking event. Some of you do a lot of speaking for your business, or you want to use that as a visibility piece. With each speaking event, there's the emails back and forth, preparing your presentation, practicing, which I really hope you're doing, the travel. All of that, again, is time. Even something as simple as a sponsorship basket, you're thinking about it. You're trying to decide, how can I align a gala basket with my business somehow? How can I get visibility out of this? I got to go buy these things, spend the money, go drive and drop off the sponsor basket. Then we sit and chat for a while, and all of it's goodwill, all of that. But are you tracking the time that all of these opportunities take? Are you measuring the specific ROI that is the result? Recently, I left a disappointing event, one I'd been to many times, and kind of questioning if it was really a fit for me anymore. And after I left, I asked myself, what if I would have spent that 2 hours optimizing my Google profile instead? Would that have had more impact on my visibility? And this is coming from someone that hosts and loves in-person events. Even if you plan ahead and have a goal for the event, some of them are just not worth your time. If the right people aren't in the room, or the event host is not good at curating events, you're not going to be able to meet your goals. On the flip side, the right event can get you an impactful connection, maybe even a new friend, but you need to audit which opportunities are worth your time. Just because they're targeted to you doesn't mean that it's worth your time. After you listen to this one, I do have an episode that is all about our networking events worth your time. It's episode 76. It's from a while back, but there's some good stuff there to help you audit your networking events and how to make the most of them. Now let's move on to talking about your energy. Some platforms drain you, and you know the one that you look at the app and you think, I probably should be on there, or, oh, I haven't been on there in a while. Here we go. Just do it. Get in there. And you just have this feeling of yuck or meh about being on that platform. You might have events that light you up, that even if there's no ROI, maybe it's educational. Maybe it is something that just brings you joy. Or there's events where you leave and you think, wow, that is really going to be impactful for the time spent. Some audiences feel more aligned with you. I think this one's a huge one. Some of this has to do with the event host and how they are curating the audience, how they're facilitating the event. But some audiences just feel better for you. This is also if you're speaking. Some audiences are going to be more aligned for you. You are beyond the point, most of you, of doing a speaking event because there might be a couple people in the audience that know someone that might maybe hire you. We're looking for impactful audiences, speaking to the right fit. All that time we talked about, remember, that goes into those speaking events. We want the audience aligned. If you leave a visibility activity or a platform feeling depleted every time, pay attention to that insight. You're the engine of your business. You don't have extra energy to give away. You need to be efficient with your energy. So pay attention to the spaces that drain you versus the ones that feel easy and natural. This is not to say that those draining platforms or spaces don't give you ROI. They may, and they may be working. It may just mean that you need to delegate those. If they're giving you the results you want, it doesn't mean you need to abandon them. Obviously, then we're going to focus on those or audit those to see how you can make it more pleasant. That's one of the things I love doing with my clients, is finding out how we can tweak things in your business so that you enjoy them. So we find the things that are working, the things that feel more natural based on how you're wired. But if you don't pay attention in the first place, or you feel like, oh, I just have to, then you're not going to get the insight that you need to be able to make change. Lastly, let's go into money. Obviously, visibility opportunities can cost you money. I'm thinking about sponsorships, vendor tables, boosted posts, hiring designers or photographers, running ads, maybe paying for a chamber membership. If you've been in business for a while, you know that as a local business owner, you're going to be asked to donate, trade services, or speaking opportunities or products for quote unquote visibility. Or you're being told by gurus that this is where you need to be spending money or where you need to be focusing your marketing. I'm not going to tell you that. Each one of you has your own strategy, your own unique ideal client, and your own purpose for the visibility. And if you don't have these yet, this is your invitation. Set up a call. Let's start with that. No one can tell you if a fit is right for you without seeing your business plan. They will try, but it is not sound advice. This includes social media professionals. No one can give you a strategic suggestion about what you should try for visibility unless they have seen your business plan or your growth plan. It's going to be surface, or it's going to be what my cousin tried, or I saw this other one do this thing. It's not, we're not at that level, guys, anymore. We're elevated. We are doing strategy. Recently, I had a football team contact me with the opportunity to have my business logo on a banner on the fence at all the football games. Friends, I am a business advisor. No one sitting in those stands is in the mindset in that moment of looking for a business advisor while they're watching their kid cheerlead or play in the marching band. Their brain is focused on their amazing kid doing amazing things. This person tried to convince me that there may be a couple of business owners in the crowd that would see it. A couple? Honey, I am only paying for that sponsorship if you were holding an entrepreneurs conference in that stadium. And even then, I know better than to think my logo on a banner that, let's be real, any of us over 40 will not be able to read that. That's not going to be transformational visibility. That sponsorship you're selling is for the local Culvers, not for me. But it's for the kids. Then that is a donation, not a sponsorship. If I'm planning donations for my business, I'm going to be transparent here. I'm centering them on women's focused nonprofits that align with my mission. You don't have to say yes to everyone that asks. In fact, this gentleman emailed me 2 more times after I told him no, asking again. It can be hard to say no. I understand. I had to do it 3 times for this one quote-unquote opportunity. The person asking you has a vested interest in filling their seats, meeting their goals, or this mission is their passion. That doesn't mean it's right for you. It makes it hard to say no. And you can use me. Just like you tell your kids to use you for an excuse, You can use me and you can say, I'm sorry, my business coach told me that this was not a good fit for my strategic plan for this year. Done. You don't have to give a bunch of reasons or string them along. Again, like I said, you can say, I'm going to think about it and I'll let you know. And then you actually need to think strategically about how this is going to bring you some ROI. And a lot of these opportunities, and we didn't talk about it in this episode, but every one of these opportunities, when I have a client and they are going to do a sponsorship or they are going to go to an event, we can come up with a strategy for it. Who are the people that you need to meet? And we're not just listing off people. We're going back to the business plan to say, these are who your strategic referral partners are, or these are the people in the past that we have data on that are good referrals for you or that are good clients for you. How can we help them take the next step? What is the next step? What outcome do we want? Where are we going to send them afterwards? And it's not like you need to do this for each individual event that you go to ever. But when you sit down and do this a few times, you start to get a pattern. You start to have a structure. Or if we work together and that's something we work on in a coaching session, you're going to have that to look back on to help you make those decisions. Right now, this is my focus. This is my strategy. This is the one outcome I'm trying to get everyone to do. And then you can run everything through that filter. But just saying yes and hoping for the best, we're not there, guys. We're beyond that now. So let's, again, focus on our strategy. There are also episodes in the past for this podcast about business booth ROI, how to make use of an expo conference booth, and also about how to make the most of a sponsorship or decide if it's a good idea. I will add those links in the show notes. I want you to try to switch your thinking to filtering which opportunities you should be doing. And yes, I'm going to use the word should on you there for this instance, because not every event sponsorship platform is for your business. And we need to get away from feeling like we need to do these things to show up and get seen. If I were to ask you to write down everywhere you're trying to get visible right now, how long would that list be for you? So I'm talking coffee chat, speaking, guest podcasting, events, social media, blogging, all of it. Anything you're doing for the purpose of getting new clients and leads. If you were to write those down, not only does it feel overwhelming, probably, but how long is that list? How many different places are you trying to show up with excellence? And how many of those places are you showing up haphazardly or just because you feel like you should? What I do with my clients is we audit that big list and figure out where they're focusing on visibility, what's working, what's not working, and we choose one or two areas that need to be the focus of our time and energy. And then maybe which one or two could be automated and humming in the background. And we figure out how much time is this platform or visibility source, how much time is it really taking? How much energy does it require? And how much money have I invested in it in the last 12 months? What measurable result has it produced? And I'm not talking about the vibes or awareness, because awareness is really hard to measure. Not just, well, people said they saw it or Instagram showed it to people. Actual results. How many leads? How many sales? Did it create a new strategic relationship or a new connection? We need the data, which I know can feel very overwhelming and for most of you, not very fun. I get it. Most entrepreneurs, this is not the part you signed up for, like I said. That's my job. That is what I signed up for. After I work with women on this, we get to a point where they have a main path that works along with their mental energy. It feels naturally aligned with their way of working. And when you have a focus, it doesn't mean that you're not getting visibility in other ways or you're only on one single social media platform. That's not what I'm saying. My guess is that you're focusing on way too many. Or you start strong with one of them do it for a while. Maybe you get bored, then you try a different one, or you hear about this other thing and you give it a try, but it's not with enough intention, consistency. Then you say it isn't working, but you really haven't given it enough time to get the data and to build momentum. When we quit early, there's a lot of work you've done which still needed time to show results, and you quit it too soon. So how do you know where to focus? I'm intentionally not giving you a formula because the right answer depends on your business model. I'm literally sitting in a room by myself talking to you guys about this. I don't know who's listening, so I can't give you a one-size-fits-all, nor would I think that's a good idea. Some of you are in-person service providers. What you do for visibility is going to be different from an online consultant or a small agency versus a solopreneur. You are all unique, and that is what I love about you in your business. That is what makes your business so special. You have to be careful not to listen to a podcaster or a speaker, admittedly I am both, that talks about one specific platform, one fix, one answer, the one thing you've been doing wrong. Listening to that and then just cut and pasting it into steps on your to-do list. You guys, that's not going to give you the result you're hoping for. I want you to see yourself as a business owner with a strategic plan, not a DIY plug-and-play business owner. We're elevating to be a business owner with a plan. Instead of talking about your specific strategy, which, like I said, I can't do that for every person listening, instead, let's talk about visibility impact. Time and money spent does not equal impact, as we know. You can be constantly doing marketing and be busy and still not be visible in the right places or to the right people. Posting every day, as much as social media will tell you to do that, it doesn't necessarily equal positioning or thought leadership or impact. Attending events doesn't give you the authority that you're looking for or the position as an expert. Sponsoring doesn't necessarily equal conversion. Impact comes from alignment and purpose and intentionality. Visibility works when your thought leadership is clear. You can listen to the last episode for more on this. Your platforms are prioritized. Your effort is concentrated. And this is the big one. It is all written down. You have a documented plan and you reference it regularly. The bonus is if you have someone helping you stay on track and keeping you accountable. We have so much going on in business. It's so easy to make that pretty plan and set it aside and forget about it or haphazardly kind of do it here and there. Accountability is a big deal. So just reviewing, visibility works when thought leadership is clear, platforms are prioritized, effort is concentrated, and it's documented, ideally with accountability. This kind of focus is what will build the momentum to get you your results. That scattered effort, that builds fatigue. And you guys, you already have fatigue. You don't need it. More is not always better. So I'll leave you with some questions to ask yourself to help gain insight on some of your more recent visibility actions. All right, you ready? Got your notebook? Think of one of your most recent visibility actions that you've taken as a business owner. Did that action, did it build authority? Did it build trust? Did it build proximity to decision makers? Did it shorten the sales cycle? And how are you measuring this to know for sure? I would love to hear some of your responses. Feel free to reach out. It's always great to hear back from podcast listeners. You guys don't know how much it means to me to get your messages and hear your replies and your thoughts on the episodes. This is your reminder to grab the Visibility Challenge checklist that includes tasks from all 3 visibility episodes in this series. You can get it at womensbusinessworkshop.com/WBW podcast, or I will have that link in the show notes. You can just easily click it there. When you sign up for the Podcast Club newsletter, I will send you the checklist, and then I'll also let you know when the next episode drops that's about using content for visibility. Remember, as CEOs, we prioritize our time, money, and energy. Everything is not a yes.